Hello, folks. It's a score attack of Speedbump, triple NES Classic. We're going to start with Contra. Players are going to do their best for 10 minutes and then they're going to take a death. They are allowed to have 30 lives if they feel like it. Yeah, my Discord is how you join the races, and you can join by asking the bot to put you in the racers group. The racers will be pinged before any race. That's the way to do it. But we do speed bump races every Sunday also. We hardly ever miss. It's just me tonight. Author isn't here. But we're still doing it. So, you know, case in point. It looks like everyone's ready. There's also a pack you can get in there to be ready quickly with. Ten seconds, here we go. A couple players are opting not to get themselves 30 lives. I'm going for points. I can tell you, just like I told the players, the point value of all these little running dudes is like 100. Thanks, Golfing. Feel free to add that on the forum. I actually set up OBS for them as well, so not any setup really goes in at all, just turning on the feed. Setting OBS to their broadcast location, and I've already built the template for them, so the racers are as streamlined as I can get it for them. Anyway, yeah, points in this game. Turrets are worth like 500. Barrels are worth like 1,000. The shells that hold weapons are worth like 1,000. The running guys and the regular dudes like 100. Grenade guys 500. Bosses 10,000. So making progress is way better than just like collecting kills. And also, since they have as many lives as they want, I figure most people aren't going to do that, right? Most people are going to try to push it. This is the hardest game of the night, even with 30 lives, so we'll see how it goes. I'm ready to punch in those values. If you need the link to the forum, Yelping, I'll send it to you. That's the best way to get it to me right now. If you're not in Discord. Spread gun in Contra 1 is pretty good. It's not as good as it is in Super C. It's still the best weapon here, probably. I'm not as familiar with Contra 1 as I am with Super C, but I'm pretty sure it's the weapon I would take for this as well. I feel like the fire works better in this game than it does in Super C as well. Laser's still pretty bad, probably the worst weapon. It's really hard to use. I like it more in Super C, but it's still got a big problem. Honestly, I never really am into it. It's alright in 3, I guess, but it's not my preference. So the players can just throw lives at their challenge here, but they will lose their gun if they die, which is a big problem, right? That's gonna slow them down, so You don't want to lose that spread gun. It gives you a triple damage over the regular gun. It's a big difference. In Super C, if you have the spread gun, probably the best spread gun in any Contra game, you can kill bosses before they even get started. They can't even react to you. Some of them are just locked up. I've never really played the arcade Contra. All of our players are doing about as well as I would like to see, honestly, with the more experienced players at the mountain climb here, and the players who are still in stage 2 are not going to wipe out. The R is rapid. It lets the bullets move faster on screen. It's hard to tell, but it basically lets you have more projectiles faster, because R takes advantage of the fact that the bosses and the enemies with a lot of health, they don't tend to have iframes, so the more projectiles you can put out, the faster they die. And it works with any gun. It's just a singular gun upgrade. It's not actually a gun of its own. I gotta check out the Contra Vampire Survivors. That sounds good. I haven't played that in a while. Boss. We are pulling audio from Jasper Team. Just happened to be on their feed. They got clean audio, so we're keeping it there. And the B upgrade tends to be a barrier shield. It's kind of weird. And I was talking about it because I was running through Super C's retro achievements recently. Finished them too. There's only one in the entire game for Super C, as far as I can tell. And it's not even in a place where it does anything. You will not be hit while you're wearing it. So it's kind of strange. But in this game, it's more useful. It shows up where you would like it to be a couple times. Just bullet immunity. You'll still die to falling, though. We're gonna be in a weird place here in a minute with our players who have 30 lives or whatever, because the only way they can see their score is to game over or complete a stage. And I'm gonna need them to put that score on screen. So they're gonna have to burn through 30 bills, plus any they've earned. It'll be interesting. Kind of forgot that it was 30 lives and not 9, but I'm fine with that. Lives are not a factor here. No one's gonna game over, it looks like. The players who didn't bother had no risk, apparently, of game over. They're doing great. Digi, I think, was one of them, maybe. They're as far in as anyone, and they have more than 4 lives. Joey, I don't think, did either, and they are on 1 still, 1 reserve. 2 minutes left. They're on stage 4 here, the second base stage. Okami's in the lead in the snowfield, stage 5. Just absolutely gunning with that spread gun and the rapid fire. "90 seconds. Tommy defeated the tank. Nice. We'll roll over that audio so we can get a little Snowfield music. I believe they are the furthest. That probably means most points, but not necessarily, if they've not been killing a lot. But I think they have been merciless about that. 20 seconds remain. I've got some good games coming up, too. This one is the, it's just me tonight, so I picked some easy games to just jam. The hardest game here, 30 lives. Might make it the easiest, actually, in the end. Man, I barely remember this silly boss that Kami's fighting. Teleporting spaceship that shoots spaceships. Time. Kami's score is 132,500. Joey's is 103,300. I'm waiting to see the other players' results. They've got a lot to go. 85,000 for Patty. There's so many lives for the players who didn't get clocked a bunch and they put in that code. Even if you eat a bunch of deaths, probably 10 is pushing it. 80600 for subwoofers. Team Sparkly 108,600. Digi has 82,600 as well. Just waiting on Jaspertine's last life. $71,100. The next game is Mario All-Stars Mario 3. SNES Mario Brothers. They have 10 minutes to get as much as you can. I'm telling them how to get points in Mario 3 in case I'm more familiar with it than some people probably are. If you jump on a bunch of enemies in a row in Mario Brothers, you get the 1-up, but before that, you get a ton of points for doing so. And coins in this game, worth a decent chunk of change. Time bonus gives you a bunch in this game, I think. Game 2 begins. Let's do it. 10 minutes on the clock. Their score is on screen the whole time, and this one... Yeah, even picking up the mushroom is worth 1,000 big ones in this, so, like, everything is gonna get you value. It's not something, people pay attention to usually, but yeah. If you can manage to jump on a ton of enemies in a row, it takes 4, I think, before you get the value of a single mushroom, but once you get that 8-pack, you really start to get the value. I've discouraged the concept of grinding any particular spot. Do you ever get points for score in this game? I don't think you do. You know. I guess they could have given you points, but really it seems to me that most of the points are going to come from the time bonus, realistically. In 10 minutes, look how much you get for the time bonus. I don't think it's going to be close. Anyone who does that is probably going to get the most value. That's what I figured. But also you cannot revisit stages, so... Joey's got a strategy here. It's decent, but it will stop paying off after they start getting 1-ups for it, yeah. I wonder if anyone else is going to go for that. I've currently got a ton of points because of that move. I don't think the 1-ups give points anymore. You would have to break it and start over again. That's the way you would have to do it. They had asked if they should grind, and I basically told them I wouldn't like it. If I see them doing that too much, if I see them doing it for 8 minutes, I probably will be annoyed with that. It's not really in the rules set here. But I think the best way to actually do this would probably be what Joey was doing, more or less. I don't know why you would get more points for the warp whistle areas. Do you really get more points for later stages? Like, is that a thing? Because maybe that's a thing. The wizard seems to say that it is. I think that they were just bullshitting us, though. I don't think that going to World 4 gives you anything. Like, it doesn't like, oh, World 4, 4x the points. That's not a thing, I don't think. Unfortunately, because it probably should be, but... They just gave him points for progress, I guess. On their own weird scoring system. I don't think score does anything, though. There's not even a high score table. This is a case of Mega Man 1 having score Mario continued to have score. For as much flack as people give Mega Man 1 for doing it, Mario never stopped. They kept doing it in Mario World. They continued to do it, and they kind of used it as like a hint to how you can get a 1-up. They just built this system where if you can get 6k jumping off enemies, you start to get 1-ups. And other than that, it doesn't do anything. Your score in Mario 1, or is it the timer? The timer in Mario 1 affects the fireworks. And there are some secret weird stuffs in Mario 3, like the gold ship and some other things that maybe are affected by that stuff. Mega Man 1 having random score for the bosses is really funny. I always forget about that too. Yeah, so the cards that show up on the world map, that's maybe score-based. I don't think that Mario World does anything with it. I'm pretty confident that Mario 1 and 2 don't do anything with it at all. Most NES games wisely give you 1-ups for score. We just finished playing Contra. I was playing Super C. You start with 2 or 3 lives in Super C, 2 extra lives and 1 regular guy. And you get so many 1-ups by the end of the game, probably 10 on just a regular run where you blow up everything. Really gives you a good shot at beating Super C. Joey is on the boss. M. Sparkly's already moved to World 2. Joey's somehow rocking 118,000 points. It's got the most. It's not really close. No one else is near. Okami's almost breaking 100k. I think this cutscene takes a while. Better pay off. 130,000 by Joey is currently the lead. We have 4 minutes left. We might see World 2 get beat at this pace. I think that basically I just asked the players to play well, don't grind, like maybe a little bit, but don't like, you shouldn't be in the same stage for the whole duration of this, or I might disqualify you for that if you really go overboard. And nobody's gone overboard. I'm happy with what they did. If they want to sit on a pipe and just get a combo once or twice, that's fine with me. But they shouldn't be burning the whole clock on a single stage. These stages are too short. I don't know about Contra, but actually I do kind of know about Contra. Somebody listed the points on Game FAQs. I checked it out before I started this race because I wanted to make sure that we were on the right page here with what I'm asking for. Let's see if we can find that post. Well, I don't see it at the moment, but it did tell me that the regular enemies were 100 and some of the bosses were worth 4,000 per part or 10,000. So you could think that maybe you would sit there and just kill goons in like the fort stage or whatever, but that's so much slower than just going forward. Might be worth doing that if you're dying and you need lives, but if you can beat the boss, you're gonna get a 1-up. Two minutes. The nice thing about the games I'm choosing here is the score is always present. Love to see it. Contra was hiding it for some reason. It just didn't feel like it was necessary to put it on the UI, even though Contra, more than any of these other games, gives you a direct reward for points. Maybe it's the only one that should have shown it, but it certainly does make the UI cleaner to hide valuable information. Big points by Okami for the stomps there. 90 seconds left. I feel like Contra 3 might have a better UI, actually. Let me see. Good look at Contra 3, remind myself what's up there. They still hide the score in Contra 3. They show you your 2 guns, how many bombs you have, how many lives you have. Very minimalist, Contra 3. "30 seconds. Unfortunately, Contra 3 does tell you to beat hard mode to get the real ending, I think. It's definitely one of those games. It might not on normal, but if you play on easy, I don't know if you're even allowed to fight the boss. Alright, I'm punching in these numbers. Some big numbers for some of these players. Joey got the most with 219, 350. Alright. Our final game. Dragon 2. Allegedly, there's a way to cheat and get infinite lives. I'm seeing about that. I think that's only for the Amiga. I'm talking to them about what we're gonna do. I'm telling them to start on 2-player B and kill Jimmy for points. Apparently that gives you 1-ups. It's news to me. B kicks or punches depending on what way you're facing. It's such an interesting idea. Give 1-ups for this. I'm telling them they can all just get rid of these fellas at the start, get those 1-ups. Yeah, this game I know, if you play it on practice, you're not even allowed to get to the end. I wanted to see if he was really worth 1-ups. He is. Who gets 6 billies? That's cool. I'm gonna let them do that. I'm waiting for this goofy thing. I've never seen that before. Somebody mentioned it, and I'm telling them that that is fine. We're just gonna wait here until Jimmy has died 3 times, and apparently you vampirize him and take his 1-ups. And that's how you can just start this game with 6 1-ups instead of 3. And they're playing on practice mode. Everyone should have about the same score. I'm gonna make adjustments if they don't to their score. I'll put a note. Everyone should have the same number. Man, they're gonna have 7 billies. 0 counts. They're gonna have 8 billies, actually. What am I thinking? It's 4 each. This is incredible value. There's no way they're gonna game over with 8 billies. They're gonna do great. Man, Okami got 14,000 points. I have to do some math here to solve everyone else's discrepancy. $98-10 difference. Okami got so many points because of their move choice. Almost ready. Here we go. Good luck with your 8 billies and your weird point discrepancies. I've got to fix, but I have the numbers. I've got the difference. They're all the same now from the start. They now are also aware that moves will make a difference in how many values they get. 10 minutes on the clock. How far do you go in practice mode before it stops you? Is it early? How early is it? I feel like it's not too bad. I feel like you can get like stage 5, but I might be wrong. Maybe it's really early. Yo, Mini Matt, what's up? We're doing a little double dragon before we call it tonight. You're right in time. Stage 3 is ridiculous. I don't think anyone's gonna beat stage 3 in 10 minutes. That's what I thought, though. Unless you're talking the helicopters at the end of stage. Did they get to go on the boat ride? I chose this one over Double Dragon 1 because the score is always present, but I probably should have... well, the score is always present in Double Dragon 1 as well, it's just a little strange. You level up and... Well, if the helicopter stage counts, then we might actually see the end of it in 10 minutes. Because the helicopter stage is damn short. If they're saying the boat is beyond practice, then we probably will see the end of it. Stage 2 isn't very long either. Stage 1 is like those two stages combined, to be honest. Our players are using the big kicks. Doing a ton of damage to these fellas. Okami jumps off the edge. Nice kick. Kicking them off the edge probably isn't great though for points. I'm not sure what's worth the most value. Okami seems to have an idea. Nice. Chen is back and he's got 2 in this copter fight, which is really nasty. Yeah, the jumping knee kick and the uppercut are the big moves. You do both of them from a prone position. Mission 3 is the helicopter. Subwoofers is on the end. – 5 minutes. There's 2 Obobos guarding the chopper. And you don't want them to fall out because that's less points. They are not very hard to kill in this game. I think they've been downgraded a little bit, to be honest. They have less health. And you got better moves than in the first game. Alright, that's as far as we get with the subwoofers. I've got their score. Okami gets 33300. The next stage is awful, so hey, this is a good place to stop, I guess. Practice mode pretends the game doesn't be ridiculous. Waiting to see the end of these fights. I think I confused the players when I said the chopper's probably the end. They have plenty of time to beat these still. This level's so short. Above 760 for Digi. Waiting to see those values here. This game was a confounding one. I thought it'd be the easy one to score. M turned it off because I told them to stop at the helicopter, but what I meant was that the game would end. So they're finishing up off screen, I think, telling me what their score is. $11,020 for Jaspertine. $19,130 for Joey. And $9,070 for Patty. Time is up. All right, let me add up. All right. There is the final scores on screen there, folks. Okami with 272. Subwoofers 228. Joey Gatorman 263 is second place, just barely. Nice work, everybody. Thanks for joining me for the NES Good Games run, though Double Dragon 2 is pushing it a little bit. I like it. I just know it's a silly one. A rude one, that's what it is. It's a rude game. But if you can beat up Jimmy and just get 4 free lives, that's a difference. That's a game changer, man. Hey, thanks for joining me, everybody. Let's find somebody to host. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know Jimmy was worth an entire 1-up. What the heck? So if you're playing in 2-player mode and player 2 is starting to die, you just take him out, get his free life off of him, and then no big deal that he's losing? What? Is that the idea? What? That's crazy.